What are the BBC thinking, Laurence? I mean, this truly is now a woke cultural takeover of that institution, isn't it? Trying to do down anything that is British.
I have it on fairly good authority that, with a few notable exceptions, that the BBC isn't actually run by, properly. It's run by the activists that we're watching all of the time, and that's a real shame. I was watching their Twitter thing yesterday, and they were saying this is a movement. I said, no, it's not a movement. It's an impartial news channel. Can you give us that? And this just feels like an extension of it, a navel-gazing, British-hating the BBC, who need to be massively defunded and completely root and branch re-looked at, because they're not representative of the majority of this country at all, and they're extremely patronising. And this wokeish takeover is extremely racist. I mean, it doesn't matter what colour or creed or religion or anything you are. You know, you can get behind a great song. I mean, the tune is fab, the words, you know. If you like them, you like them. I think they're fairly trite myself, but it is, as you said before, it's a highlight. And stop trying to erase our history.
Yeah, we don't take them literally, do we? I mean, one was written in 1902, one was written in 1740. The words are sort of irrelevant. The songs have become great symbols of our patriotism, and actually a shared symbolism that we don't get very often these days, because institutions seem to be so terrified of actually celebrating being British.
The hatred there's an absolute huge hatred of Britishness, Britishness, which is so sad, because we're such a wonderfully modern, diverse country, and to bring race into it in the way that they have, you know, to say that Dahlia, who's organising this thing, is a huge fan of Black Lives Matter, is to sort of make some odd assumption that no one else is a big fan of Black Lives Matter. We are all fans of Black Lives, and we're all fans of all lives matter, because all lives do matter. And this is basically just racism under new management. That's all it is.
Do you think the BBC are at risk of signing their own death warrant here, though? Because I think it's decisions like this, Laurence, that are actually going to make a heck of a lot of ordinary folk rise up and say, no, that's one step too far now. You're not getting my licence fee money.
I sincerely hope so. I think the BBC, as they are at the moment, obviously with the notable exceptions and the excellent journalists that do exist, the show not tell journalists are in a catastrophically London bubble, liberal ridiculousness, and I don't think they represent the people of this country. And I think it's utterly divisive. There's something wonderful about being British. Being British doesn't say that you're black or you're white or you're Asian, British or anything. It's just being British. And if you don't like it, don't be British, is my view.
They are terrified by, I would call them, fringe lobby groups who now seem to have an outsized voice in the media. But we are going to be joined by Dr. Kehinde Andrews after the news. He's the Professor of Black Studies at Birmingham City University, who says that these songs amount to racist propaganda. What would be your response to him there?
I'd say that anybody that studies black studies is a racist. That's what I'd say. I'd say anybody that puts the word black before anything is a racist. I'd say anybody that uses race as any form of description about anything is a racist. And I think that we have a wonderful cultural heritage, some of which is very problematic and difficult. But if we're going to sit there and talk about racism, then let's go and take down Tupac's albums or Biggie Smalls' albums, or even a lot of modern hip hop, and let's remove the N-word from all of those, because I find those racist as well. But you know what? I'm culturally sensitive and able to understand that these things are about expressing something else. And these songs are about a shared national unity. And the BBC hate the nation, and they hate everything about it. And I, as a result, feel that I hate them, because I'm so proud of this country. And my grandfather got a military cross, and the back of his neck completely shredded fighting the Germans, so that these Kiendes and people like that can sit there and tap into their iPhones at how racist we all are. And he didn't care what colour you were, and neither does anybody else. So we need to get rid of it. It's a pervasive, nasty attitude towards our society, which is very progressive, actually.
Well, we've seen it time and time again, haven't we? And they never learn their lesson. They don't learn their lesson from the Brexit referendum. They don't learn their lesson from completely missing the fact that Boris Johnson was going to take down the Red Wall at the last election. And they won't learn their lesson here from polls that overwhelmingly show Brits in favour of these songs. And the thing that just makes me so sad, Laurence, is, I mean, I've been to the Proms once before. I took my mum from New Zealand. So we are dual citizens, both of us, but we grew up in New Zealand. My mum moved there when she was 2 years old. But there was actually something really special about being in a room full of Brits from all around the world, of all different ethnicities, singing that song together. And actually, it makes me really sad that there should be any embarrassment about that, because in America, that type of patriotism has always been celebrated.
Well, the thing is, Dan, unfortunately, is all of these people that want to rewrite history and change things, they are exactly the thing that they accuse people of. And as I said on Question Time, this is a remarkably tolerant country. And I really feel that the tolerance is being tested now. I really do. And
so how do we fight back? Is it by not paying the license fee?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've not paid the license fee. I would urge everybody who feels that this is not, the BBC is not representative of them, to not pay the license fee. And I would encourage everybody to support All Lives Matter. Every single human life is sacred. Every single one of us. Not black lives more than any other life. Not Asian lives, not anybody else's life. Not white lives. It's just all lives. And we start there. And that is a truly, truly progressive way of looking at this world. And of course, there are very problematic issues in terms of policing, certainly in America and in the UK as well. And I'm not denying the existence of racism. It's something we need to stamp out. But to label an entire population, a majority white population, which is so sad, that of calling them all racist, I think is the most appalling and nasty thing, because they are exactly the thing they accuse you of. They're hyper-racially aware, they're hyper-racist, and they hate our country. And the BBC is full of them.
Laurence,
of all colours.
Laurence Fox, thank you. And sorry for interrupting your holiday, but this was important enough to do so. Hope you have a brilliant time while you're away, and enjoy the weather, because it's not good here. That is Laurence Fox.